Good evening. Before we get started, I have one small request. My good friend Tomorrow Toms, and by proxy his family, have recently lost their home due to a house fire. The family has started a GoFundMe to help with the recovery process. I will have a link to this GoFundMe below. Toms has been a good friend of mine for years now, and I know him as well as his family would appreciate any help they could get. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Helldivers 2. What can I say about Helldivers 2 other than it's probably my favorite co-op experience in years? The premise is simple. You drop onto a planet, you accomplish some objectives, and you extract. Simple as that, but me just stating that won't really tell you how just chaotic and enjoyable this game is. So allow me to take you on the Helldivers 2 experience. Launch day was an absolute disaster. Negative reviews were pouring in, game crashes, blue screens of death, matchmaking failures, complaints about the monetization. Honestly, it was pretty typical launch day woes. However, none of this was an issue for me because I'm an adult and I have a full-time job, and I was at work. Eventually, I did get around to playing the game. Helldivers 2 introduces its players to the wacky world of Super Earth through some good old propaganda. The Federation of Super Earth is a radicalized spacefaring democracy with an emphasis on imperialism. Just kidding, I'm not a bread tuber. What I'm trying to say here is that Helldivers 2 is essentially the personification of those hilariously out-of-touch t-shirts you see alcoholics wearing at Walgreens on a Saturday afternoon, if it was a game. Some people might not appreciate this game having a more humorous tone, but I for one am here for it. Not only do way too many games take themselves way too seriously these days, the absurdity of the setting works given the game's mechanics. The tutorial was a pretty run-of-the-mill thing, telling me how to move, shoot, and dive, as well as activate stratagems. Stratagems are basically Amazon Prime on super steroids. You can call down weapons, turrets, and bombing runs to assist you on missions. Each stratagem has its own directional code. For instance, orbital precision strike will always be right, up. A system like this makes pulling off quick and methodical drops insanely difficult, especially when you're being surrounded by man-eating bugs or death robots. But it also makes it way more fun. Of course, the stratagems truly shine when being used strategically, but given the chaotic nature of this game, that's not always possible. Speaking of chaos, there's a good chance you'll die. I died in the tutorial. Death can be a tactical advantage in Helldivers 2. In single player, it's pretty typical. However, in multiplayer, when a player dies, the surviving party members are responsible for reviving them. The reinforced stratagem allows the deceased player to helldive back into the fray. Smart players can use this to gain ground and ambush, among other things. After completing the tutorial, I was immediately awarded with my own battlecruiser. I named it the Arbiter of Conviction. Helldivers 2 didn't allow me to completely customize the name of my ship. I would have called it something like the Penis Pulverizer or the Anal Anomaly, which, to be honest with you, is probably the exact reason why they didn't really let me choose the name of my ship. Finally, I am delivered to the bridge of my ship, completely defrosted and obscenely erect. This is basically the lobby. Shortly after that, I was introduced to the monetization of Helldivers 2, which is questionable. While players can technically unlock everything without paying real money, it seems gaining premium currency without outright buying it will take quite a long time. I understand live service games need a steady source of income, but locking game-altering weapons and armor behind paywalls isn't a great look, even if players can earn the premium currency to obtain it. I'll talk more about the monetization later, but it's definitely a sore spot on the game for me. While on the bridge, you can also upgrade your ship. Most of these ship upgrades actually just unlock and upgrade stratagems. At this time, it wasn't really important to me since I barely had any resources, so I decided it was time to hell dive. Originally, I had planned to show you my first match, but that's gay. I was playing solo, and I was playing on, like, easy mode. So instead, we're going to take a look at a full 4-player match on the hard difficulty, which is like the 3rd or 4th difficulty on a game with 9 difficulties.
Hey, people, Warcrimes McManslaughter here.
None of this shit's going in the video.
Hey, I'm Duke Nukem at home.
Ready to launch the nuke?
Yeah, why so serious, Sam?
Y'all have seen that episode of American Dad where the Chinese agents keep saying launch codes?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, question before we go. Which one of you voted for Space Biden?
Space Biden.
Yeah, which one of you voted for Space Biden? Ah, fuck!
If somebody has an autocannon, can you take out that transmission tower?
I did, but I have an expendable anti-tank. Just shoot
That
it.
works.
You could shoot it with that too.
Just keep in mind it has drop after about 40 meters. Just avoid going in that facility. We don't want to trigger an unnecessary breach.
No, you're aggroing them in.
It won't know it's me.
Sure?
Yeah, they're all dead.
Oh yeah, maybe not.
That's a bomb.
We don't have to deal with it anymore.
There's a small ammo cache here, and a charger apparently.
Sending in an eagle. Reloading.
No, these guys are dead already. Alright, let's get that power on so we can launch that nuke.
Engaging terminal.
It's quiet, too quiet.
Yeah, right. I think I got like water on my map or
Nice.
something.
Water on it.
Sending in an eagle.
Careful. Don't get too close to that.
Oh no, I'm sliding.
Oh, okay, that's a
Screw that single hive guard in particular.
I killed the charger.
Nice.
I don't know why, it just literally stopped.
You know, if we had footage of this, I could have shown you killing the charger like a badass.
Oh, now you can just hear me saying, I killed the charger, and then like...
And then us bullying you for not
and
recording.
then you get an MS Paint
Yeah.
picture.
Oh my god.
Alright, I'm gonna start activating this shit.
Yep.
Okay, all the pins are unlocked. Got hoppers inbound.
Go! Bag's empty.
Good morning, USA.
Get out of there.
Love the sweet smell of napalm in the morning.
Get out of there! Get out of there! I told you, man. I told you. Oh no. Did your game disconnect?
Yeah.
Do you want me to start the extraction?
Yeah, Corey, try to log back in.
Alright, I'm coming down.
Dude, I would have laughed if the ship actually just like blew up.
You can kill the ship.
We had it happen once.
Can you really?
Yeah.
I love the gameplay, I love the aesthetic, but there are a few worrying things about Helldivers 2. The first thing I'm most worried about is the monetization. Super credits are a premium currency that is used to purchase armor and shit from the rotating shop, as well as war bonds. War bonds could be described as a sort of battle pass. The caveat is this battle pass will never expire. Once purchased, you'll have to invest your medals into unlocking the equipment contained within. Medals, by the way, are awarded after each mission. Super credits can be found within missions, however, it's pretty hard to find and it will take quite a while to earn enough credits for a war bond. While I am happy that we have a chance to avoid purchasing premium currency, I do worry that the amount of super cash available in the game will become more and more scarce. This wouldn't be quite as bad if the stuff players could purchase with super cash was just cosmetic, but it's not. Some people might call me a little paranoid about this, but given the state of gaming, I think I have every right to be a bit wary. The second problem is the fact that the game is a live service. That means when the servers inevitably shut down, the game is basically gone forever. And that would really suck, considering I paid 40 USD for this.
Among the other issues I should mention is the general bugginess of the game. I've encountered bugs where I can't reload my gun, or sometimes I just stop moving. It's definitely not great. Another time I loaded into an allied carrier, and I was stuck behind the cryo tanks. That's all small beans, though, in regards to the server issues. The servers have gone down a couple times since launch, and anytime after 3 PM US Central, you're probably going to be stuck in a server queue for ages. It really sucks in that regard.
The last thing is probably the least crucial, but it's the anti-cheat. GameGuard is a shitty kernel anti-cheat. I'm not going to elaborate on this because I really don't care. At this point, there's so many ways our privacy is invaded on a daily basis that another kernel anti-cheat isn't going to really make a difference, unless you're a fed or a creep. I could honestly see myself playing Helldivers 2 with my friends for years.
That said, as much as I have praised Helldivers 2, I would advise waiting 2 to 3 months before picking it up. By then, the server issues should be long resolved, along with several of the bugs. We also might have a better idea on seeing how the monetization of Helldivers will trend. And with that, I leave you with a quote from the current Sony CEO, Kenichiro, fuck this.